Okay, so Chiara, welcome to the Live Healthy podcast. I'm really happy to speak with you. We didn't really meet. We crossed paths at Dubai Active, and I really liked some of the things you were saying about gut health when you were on that stage, and I wanted to catch up with you anyway. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing to have the chance to talk with you.
Okay, so like so many people I speak with in health and wellness, your business was born out of your own health struggles. So just let me know sort of what those were, your gut health issues and how you healed them.
Yes, correct. So let's say that first, let's go backwards. So when I was younger, you always eat whatever you want, and you feel less of any sort of struggles. But then going towards the late 20s, it's when I really started struggling, generally speaking, with more digestive issues, bloating, like normal general symptoms that you don't really even care about, when you're in that stage. But then moving forward, I saw this happening more and more with any type of food that I was eating. Then what happens? End of my 20s, stress also always plays a big role in everything. I start having severe pain in parts of my stomach. I was not able to understand where, because when I start all the different types of visits here in Dubai, and honestly, like I can be your tour guide in Dubai to show you around all the hospitals, because it's been honestly a very hectic journey to understand what was happening. I started having severe chronic pain on the right side of my of my trunk. The issue is that in most cases they were saying, okay, you have broken rib, or we don't really understand what's going on. Let's have. So I was like, no, I actually know that it's inside. I know what's going on. That was connected with internal bleeding that I started seeing in the stool. So it was actually definitely not pleasant. Well, long story short, or short story long, what happens in the end, that they diagnosed me with a principle of Crohn's disease. I was somehow not really happy with the diagnosis. Maybe, I don't know if I did not want to accept it, or I felt like, with all the different diagnoses and the things that they were trying to figure out, maybe, there was something that could be solved. Anyway, I started medication, was not really working. And throughout this time, because it was a sort of story that lasted for at least like almost 2 years, I started understanding more what I could do to fix my own nutrition. And I've always been like very healthy, But anyway, there were several things that I understood how to change them and introduce a lot more the whole concept of supplementation. That was what really I saw that changed the game for me. And that's when, funny enough, I realized how introducing collagen in my daily life really gave me the biggest change. And that was not only from funny enough, also when I started taking collagen, that was only for my skin concern. I used to have very severe acne. Mm-hmm. I was really definitely not, like, I still have some acne scars and everything. So that was the whole beginning of, okay, let's take the collagen because I know it's amazing for your skin, for your hair, whatever. Let's do that. Well, then turns out that actually, no, collagen is the most abundant protein that we have in our body, because it's composed, like, it makes up over 30%, of the protein that we have in our body. So it's not just important for our skin, hair, nails. It really helps the internal lining of our gut. And then I was like, wow, like this is helping me really so much more. And okay, it's been like a long time that I've been taking it already, but that it was what really made the biggest change. And then restructuring a bit everything, understanding what to take also in terms of nutrition is what really gave me the biggest discoveries. And I was like, okay, this is now something that I want to really educate, everyone around, that we can really make a big difference in how we eat, and especially what we add and what we implement into our nutrition.
So how is your gut health now? Because if you were diagnosed with Crohn's, we're told that's a condition that you have forever.
Exactly, absolutely. So I'm not taking any medications, but I'm very careful about everything that I eat. And I am also taking different types of supplements, but again, always, natural types of supplements that support me much more than chemical drugs. So far, yes, everything is in check. Of course, depending on the season, the time, the stress, that always plays a huge role. So, but yeah.
So it'll still flare up a bit if you get stressed, you get
Yes,
tired, or you get.
exactly. Stress and bad nutrition, excessive alcohol, excessive bad eating is always what gives me
Okay.
the big struggle. So that takes more, yeah.
Okay. And no one's perfect. Like, even though you know all this stuff.
Yes, exactly. I just know that maybe compared to other people, I might be just more sensitive to it. So I need just to watch out more for that.
Okay. So explain for people about how collagen works. Because I know people don't really understand, because it has to do with joints and
They also don't know what it is.
yeah, no one really knows what it is. So just give us a little collagen 101.
Yes, exactly. So collagen is an amino acidic chain, okay? So it's composed by amino acids. So it's the same way as we consider any other type of protein. We have collagen as well. Collagen is part of the protein family, okay? Then we have a specific type of foods where we find it mainly in, which is the whole animal family, because collagen is mainly found in all the internal cartilage, bones, and joints of the animals itself. That's where the richest amount of collagen is, and this is why it's also a big myth to state that we can have vegan type of collagen. It doesn't exist in nature. There can be compounds and types of foods that can support the production of collagen because they are more protein rich, for example, pea protein. But we cannot claim that they do have collagen itself. So we can only find it in animal nature, and that's through the specific type of extraction we can have more amount of that type of amino acidic chain that really supports our own skin, our own hair, nails, and the joints as well. So, and now we've seen a huge fashion coming out now, and a huge trend, much more now, and more people are now anyway, luckily, aware of what collagen is. But before, it's been used for years in the medical field, for infiltrations. So people that have hip impingements, joint issues, they do have to take several courses of collagen infiltrations to really support the health of their joints. So that's how now, naturally with the evolution and everything, it sort of became now more popular in the nutrition field. But if you think about it, also back in the days, our grandma or even just our mom was literally cooking bone broth every single day, winter. So that's what we were eating. And bone broth is one of the richest sources of collagen. And also, funny enough, doctors that have clients with generally speaking gut disorders, not only necessarily Crohn's disease. One of the first things that they really suggest their clients to take is natural bone broth. Because it's rich in collagen.
Now, you've put the collagen in cookies, which sounds really fun to me, but I bet some people are like, what are you doing? Like, you can't put it in a cookie. So tell me how that works.
Yeah, first of all, it's very easy. It sounds maybe weird, but we can take collagen in any specific form. So the ways we know it most usually is just in pills or powder form. The way we combine it is using the powder, collagen powder, and it can definitely be put in a cookie, and you can technically, use it and cook everything with it, because the component, the structure of the amino acidic chain does not change if it's exposed to heat. Okay, of course, there has to be like a exposure to heat that goes above 1,000 degrees or something like that. So it's something that we cannot really experience in our kitchen oven anyway, And so we are able to combine it in a snack that is already filled up with other, healthy antioxidants and natural good ingredients that really support already the digestive tract. We add another supplement, collagen, and we have something that is giving us even more of a healthier support on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Okay. And how do you know it's working? How can you tell? Because sometimes I think I don't give supplements enough of a chance, because you expect this miraculous, and I have to remind myself that sometimes it's very slow and subtle, but how should people know it's working?
Exactly. So it's literally the same conversation as you say for supplements in general. And this is why many people swear by them and many people don't ever want to hear of them. First of all, supplements are called supplements exactly because they do have to supplement how our nutrition is on a daily basis. So we can eat all the crap that we want and take over 100 supplements a day. But if our nutrition is crap and the basics is crap, then of course, it's not gonna help and take us anywhere. So first we have to understand how to have a basic healthy nutrition. And then after that, the 5% on top is really gonna be supported by the supplements that we take. And really, we have some of them that we have to technically, especially nowadays for the lives that we live, our exposure to, indoor versus outdoors and, the lack of nutrients in foods, we have nowadays to really make sure that we take specific types of supplements on a daily basis, not only to get more nutrients that we are missing from foods, but also to really make sure that we can live healthier longer. But yeah, when it comes to collagen, it's the same. So we always need to make sure that we can have a phase in which we test it out. No, so it usually goes from at least 4 to 8 weeks and beyond, and then after that we can really see the changes. And usually, especially when you take collagen, maybe you don't really feel the difference, but you might start feeling the difference. And what we also have, like in terms of customers coming and telling us, is literally that you will see your friends telling you that, oh, what's up with your face today? You're so glowing today. What is there? You don't realize, but you will see that more and more people are telling you that, and you start seeing a difference in the consistency and literally in the glow, in the texture and the color of the skin. And that's one of the first things. And then you see it also in how your nails feel, your hair. I used to also have very brittle nails, very, like, my hair was falling off all the time. So I do have PCOS as well. So that makes it also more likely to have, more hair loss and other symptoms. So collagen does help, like any other supplement, but we always need to test it and try it on us for a specific amount of time that goes from 2 to 3 months at least. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you have Beauty Treats. That's your homegrown UAE company with you have keto anti-inflammatory snacks,
Yes,
the collagen cookies, and then you also run a consulting company because you set up this wellness business. So you consult and help other companies with wellness. And I'm curious about, first of all, what was your experience launching a wellness company? Like the landscape, do you feel it's crowded? It's certainly much more on offer than there was. I've lived here for 15 years, so it sort of feels like an explosion. But what did you feel like the landscape was when you were starting?
I think you're definitely right when you say, how's the situation now? Is it overcrowded? We've seen definitely a shift throughout all the last years. Like if you think back in the 60s or 70s, all we were talking about was fitness. Now there was a huge, thought about and hype about everything around fitness. And now, since the 2000 and onwards, like all we're talking about is wellness. So the shift has literally evolved into a more general and holistic approach also to how we actually live life. So even now, more than before, we're actually seeing much more of a trend into everything that goes into longevity. So that we're talking a lot more about longevity, and the word longevity is even more, let's say, encompassing about how we live our lives, in all different fields that goes, from relationships to mindset to nutrition to sleep to supplementation. and it does not take into account only the present, but also the future. So it's something also that is becoming more of a trend. So I have been naturally always consulting different companies here in the UAE since I lived here for everything related to their social media, marketing, business development, PR, and exposure. But then naturally, because of my own passion and interest into wellness, generally speaking, this is how now I really support these type of companies in this industry. And I have seen really a lot of growth into everything that really wants to give, an added value and added support to people that goes not only into the physical space, but also into the mental space. So I can see, and this is really, really interesting and actually, really, really interesting, like how there's much more recognition also for the connection of body and mind and the importance of mental wellness. If we look at if we want to talk about competition or over saturation, or I think now it's still such an important and interesting time to really expand on everything that we are actually finding out, as in terms of medical and technological advancements, because there's so much more happening, at such a faster pace as well. And especially that we're finally also realizing and taking more acknowledgement for the importance of mental wellness that was not there before. And maybe, it originated definitely much more since COVID times and everything. But yeah, we are having more struggles with mental disease as ever. But we're also finally taking a bit more the ownership of tackling that. So yeah.
What do you think the UAE needs in terms of wellness? What does the market need now?
So exactly, this connects with what we were talking about. So UAE is honestly really taking always the lead with everything that is now, health and healthcare and being at the forefront and, trying to not emulate, but always inspire itself also with what is happening in the States. So we really see a lot of conversion also that is happening and connection that is happening now with everything related to startups and innovative projects that are actually moving here to the UAE because they realize it as a very, very growing and a growing hub. It's I think it's here that is actually happening now, the even more growth of everything related to, again, study of longevity and medical evolution and trying to understand not only, again, general wellness, but really how to, improving diagnostics, having better biomarkers to understand and to read patients, general situations, have a better understanding, also thanks to AI, which is really, changing the game and the environment of understanding our own complex mental and physical health. That's happening now. We're living it now, and this is why we see this explosion of different startups that want to, get support here or are growing here. And I think it's really, the time to be more involved in this if we actually want to care about this type of industry. Yeah.
Okay, so any business has to have social media. You've done really well on social media. How do you manage the social media in a healthy way and not get carried away with it?
Exactly, that's a good point. Well, let's say that I try to, especially recently, I try really to divide my business life with my private life. And you're right when you say, okay, how do you try also to keep it in a healthy way. Because very often what I see also with other people in the industry, with other friends, or other people here in the UAE that are using their social media in a very very important and primary way for their work, you see sometimes how it really gets I don't even know how to say it. Like it becomes something that is almost essential and especially in your life, you cannot really even live without it. It becomes almost a fixation where it's literally sometimes in your mind almost as if you're living a double life, or expecting to do something only for the purpose of actually showing it to others. Yeah. And it is a bit the mental thing that we're actually experiencing and we're living, and this is what creates also all this massive increase in mental diseases that we're experiencing now over the last 20 years, and this sense of always seeing what's better, or having this sense of competition and everything. So this is generally hard outside of it's generally hard already for everyone, no matter if it's a business account that we're having or if it's own private account that we're having. So we tend to compare ourselves, and instead of doing it in a constructive way, we tend to do it, unfortunately, in a destructive way, which is not really helping us. So then at that point, the way I'm trying to use it is literally just to do what I love, which is educating people about what I'm doing, which is simply, again, a result of my own passion, of my own personal journey. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a specific type of, a doctor, but this is anyway what I have come and gone through. And this is what I love. This is what I preach about, it. This is what has helped my life, and this is what I want to educate other people about. This is how I'm trying to live the extension of my life through social media. So I hope it's actually working.
Yeah, it's working. That's interesting. I do think a lot of people get lost in it, so it's interesting to hear how you don't.
Exactly, and I think yes, especially the approach also to the connection of body and mind, which is something that I've really dived much deeper into the last 2 years, is something that is really important to me, and I'm trying to speak much more about it. We're really experiencing, generally speaking, in such an incredible time for everything that is evolution and discoveries and startups and in new industries and really like technological development and AI and everything. It's such an incredible, exciting time, but at the same time, we're really getting more and more sick and developing new diseases and mental disorders. So it's very important that we understand how to find a balance, and it really all goes to us and how we interact and we perceive our environment.
Okay, so just final, what if someone's experiencing gut issues right now and you've been through this and sorted it out? You can spend a lot of money and a lot of time and get a lot of different answers. What is your advice for them if they know their gut is problematic?
So this is actually a huge one too, because the thing is, so many different types of symptoms that we have can be related to the gut, but we might not really know that they are related to the gut. So we really needs a better understanding, because, for example, of course, the most traditional types of symptoms that we experience are usually constipation, bloating, acid reflux. So these we can connect them immediately, but then there's other types of symptoms that can be, mood swings, skin rashes, eczema, psoriasis, or again, anxiety, feelings of anxiety, less happiness, chronic inflammation in the body. So all of these are also still related to the gut, and the way we need to tackle that is, okay, understanding how to really refix our nutrition, and first of all, how to redo the right type of detoxification. I'm not talking about, the juice cleansing and stuff like that, but really like a proper detox of what specific types we need to avoid for a specific amount of time, and which types of probiotic and prebiotics we need to reintroduce in our gut, because it might be that we have an overgrowth of fungus and bacteria in our larger intestine, and we need first of all to eliminate that, and then rebuild the healthy microbiome in our gut. So in order to do that, of course, there's the best way is to follow specific protocols. Go see a gastroenterologist, or just ask for better specific gut health checks to our main doctor. So these usually can be, starting from a blood test to a colonoscopy to a stool test, and this really gives a clarification already of if we have specific symptoms that we need to tackle, because it's such a wild and wide world. So yeah.
Okay. And I guess stick with it, right? Because if you can't, you have to keep at it until you feel better. And that's a lot of people give up and just sort of feel crappy.
Exactly, especially if we have conditions such as, again, SIBO or SIFO, which is small intestinal bacterial fungal overgrowth, or again, IBS, or irritable bowel disease, or others. So we need to take much more of a longer journey that can also take up to 3 to 4 months to really reestablish and replenish the healthy bacteria, because even when we have, small fungal or bacterial overgrowth in the intestine, we're not aware of it, but maybe we are experiencing still, constipation or bloating, when we even when you think, oh, but I'm actually still eating healthy, how can that happen? No? And we are aware that, okay, I can find my probiotics in kefir and kombucha, and I'm taking them every single day. And I'm also eating lots of fibers and nuts and seeds and vegetables. So why am I still experiencing that? So it means that we might have this overgrowth or fungus and bacteria that we need, first of all, to get rid of before we actually start adding in our natural healthy types of probiotics and prebiotic foods. So that's why we need to do a cleansing of that and address that before we actually really start seeing results on a better longer term.
That's great. Thank you so much. It's really great to talk to you about collagen and gut health and social media and all of it. Thank you.
Thank you.